Hi, I'm Chris James, and you're watching Healthy Alternative. Today, we're going to change things up a little bit. I have Art with me. He's got a very unique story to share. He's been going through quite a bit recently with his health, and we're going to get all into that here in a moment. But I just wanted to do something a little bit different with this video. So this is a special one, guys. Stay tuned. We're missing a piece of the puzzle.
You start getting healthy and you just become a better person.
We need to start focusing more on the individual.
All right. So I'm really appreciative of you getting on with me today because I know you have a lot going on in your personal life with your family and everything going on right now.
Yeah.
How you doing today, man?
I'm good, bro. How about you?
I'm well. It's warm in Texas. It's probably about 74 degrees. It's been cold for the past couple of days. So, yeah,
for sure. It's about 50 something degrees out here today in Philly. So, it's cool. I was going to go out this morning. Yeah, I was going to go out for a walk this morning, but it was 39. I said, nah, I ain't doing that. Not 39.
Yeah, my family's from the East Coast, so I spend a lot of time out there, like Delaware.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I know what the weather be like.
Right, for sure.
Okay, so I'm gonna do just like kind of set the audience up for what happened. Basically, you've been dealing with a tumor.
Yes.
Okay, and is this tumor cancerous? Is it benign? What's going on with the?
Nah, it's benign. And it's actually the what the doctors like to call it is a prolactinoma, which is a tumor that sits on top of the pituitary gland, and it causes all type of hormonal issues and things to go out of whack. And it's just a real wonky tumor. And like they told me, if you have it cut out, it will just grow back if you don't take the medication that they prescribe.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. That sounds like an awful place for a tumor to develop. Just the importance of that gland. And for those who don't know, where is that located?
It's actually right. It sits actually right in the center, right between your eye nerves, at the top, about right here. That's where the pituitary gland sits, and the tumor is actually on top of that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, how long have you been dealing with this thing? Like, when did this all start?
I want to say around 16 years old, 17 years old. I had just graduated high school. I was in the house a lot. You know how it is when you're just getting out of high school. You know, you're a high school kid. You know, your mom and dad is like, go get a job. Go get your license. So I'm in the house playing Madden all day.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, so let me get up and, get started. So one morning I get up, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go out, go to PennDOT and try to go get my license. Playing Madden and my vision is like really blurred. I'm like, what the heck? So I rub my eyes and I look at the game again. It's just like super blurry. And I'm like, what is going on? So I put the game down. I'm all right, but maybe I need to just go outside and I come back and everything should be fine. So I get a ride from my pop. My pop takes me up to PennDOT. And as we go up to PennDOT, he asked me, did I study my book? Yeah, whatever, let's go. So we go to PennDOT, I ace the test. And as I ace the test, I'm going to the vision field cone. And I go to the vision field cone and the lady like, okay, you passed your test, put your head up against the machine and read from left to right for me. I said, okay. I don't know what happened. I said, okay, cool. So I read from left to right. No, I actually didn't read from left to right. So I put my head against the cone and I'm like, ma'am, I don't see anything. I said, is this machine broke? She said, no, press your head up against the cone. Make sure your forehead is hitting the button to allow the machine to light up. I'm like, miss, I don't see nothing from left to right. She was like, well, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe something wrong with your eyes. I said, miss, there's nothing wrong with my eyes. She said, okay, try one more time. Did it one more time, same thing. So what they did was they stamped my paper. They said it was approved, but need to see an eye doctor. It was I passed, but I need to see an eye doctor. So after that, I'm like, okay, well, let's go to the eye doctor. Maybe I need glasses. So from that point, we go right to the eye doctor. Not Will's Eye, it was Crystal Vision. We go to Crystal Vision, get the eye test done. okay. Um, they dilate my pupils, and then I have to go into like this room where they were looking into my eyes, and it was like, well, something is wrong because I'm not getting. She said something I don't remember verbatim, but she said, we're not getting what we're not seeing what we should see.
Right.
I think you need to go see somebody else. So then I got referred to Jefferson's Wills Eye Hospital, which is downtown Philly, and we go there. So I'm like, okay, now I'm scared because I hear my parents talking, they freaking out. They're like, what's going on? We got to go down here. It might be an emergency. Lo and behold, they do x-rays and CAT scans, find a pituitary tumor. Yeah. And it was the size of a golf ball.
Wow.
Literally the size of a golf ball. I had been dealing with headaches, but my mom and dad would just give me Motrin, and some days it'll be cool, and then other days it won't be. And then I'm like, well, Mom, maybe it's because of the way that I'm sleeping. Maybe I need a better pillow. So we trying all these different,
Right.
arrangements, making all these different arrangements for me to not wake up with headaches. And ultimately, that's what it was.
Man. And I'm sitting here thinking, I'm listening to your story, and I'm like, bro, first of all, for your vision to start fading, I mean, that's so scary. Trust me, I know.
It is.
And you never know what's going on with your eyesight and things like that. And then for it to be this tumor, one thing that I noticed, especially like maybe a few years ago, people were dying from brain aneurysms, young people like 28, 26. And they kept saying they had no warning. They're like, there's no warning. They were just dying. And it was freaking me out. I mean, like young guys.
Wow.
And what I learned is always a warning. You know what I'm saying? Like your body was warning you. We don't pay attention. We don't listen. We don't understand.
Right.
Headaches and the discomfort and things. We just throw the Tylenol on top of it. And that's just, it's always a bad look because it's your body trying to tell you something.
Absolutely.
So, okay. So you found out that you had the tumor, and you went through that whole process. What was your treatment like at that point, or how did you progress?
Okay. So after that, they was like, okay, we need to do blood work immediately. So of course, at that point, my mother's crying, my dad's trying to hold my mom together. And it was just a real weird time. I get the blood work done the same night. They run the test the same night. As the blood work is as we waiting for the blood work to come back, I started feeling weird in the hospital. I actually started feeling weird. I don't know if it was because, they took so much blood, but I was feeling really weird, really woozy. So I had to lay down. Then when I woke up, my parents were right there. I woke up. I was sitting down on the bed. They come back in the room and they tell me my T4 was an issue. Testosterone was an issue. Testosterone levels were really low. So I was needing. I was producing this hormone called prolactin, and prolactin, actually, when your prolactin levels are too high, you can also secrete this like milky substance from your chest. So they were like asking me, like, are you having this issue? I'm like, no. I'm like, I'm not having none of these issues. I'm like, they like, are you having problems with your, I'm 17 at this point. They're like, are you having problems with your sexual activity? I'm like, no. So I'm looking at my mom and dad like, 'cause they didn't know I was, sexually active. But, I'm like, nah, I'm not having no problems with that or nothing. So, it was just a really weird situation. So what they did was they gave me prednisone, which is a very, very terrible steroid. By the way, prednisone is terrible. It actually caused me to have anxiety. It caused me to, it changes mood swings. You have hunger pains, and then when you eat, you just want to eat like a freaking machine. I put on so much weight, man. It blew me up. It literally blew me up. I was also on this gel called Andrew gel that actually got recalled years later after I stopped taking it. But I had to take the gel and I had to apply it on my abdomen area. And I really wasn't feeling it too much. So I stopped taking that maybe within like the first month. And then years later, I found out once I got on my wellness journey that it was recalled because it was giving people issues. So yeah, that was pretty much all the medication and what I went through as far as that process.
Crazy. So with all the medication, obviously some of it you opted not to take.
Right.
And that's a common story, right? People taking these medications, they say, oh, you take this medication for your tumor, but it gives you depression, anxiety, you know what I mean?
Yep.
All kinds of other issues.
Absolutely.
Did you see anything? Did you see any benefit, basically, is what I'm trying to get at?
Not at all.
No?
Not at all. Only the only thing that happened was I put on weight. That was it. And a ton of it at that.
Right.
So,
Okay. So I'm assuming you eventually stopped taking the medication?
Absolutely. Stopped taking the medication. After we found out that prednisone was a steroid that you shouldn't be taking for a long period of time.
Okay.
Because it causes a lot of other issues, which, like we touched on, anxiety, depression. It gives you mood swings. I mean, you pick up weight because you want to eat so much. It's just bad.
Gotcha.